Man Hour Nation, are you ready for the best damn sports radio show on the planet?
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that while I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, everybody? Michael Buckheischer here with the Man Hour, live, raw, and uncut sports talk coming to you on the Thursday edition, 8 p.m. East Coast time, right here at youtube.com/Man Hour. If you have not subscribed or liked our Facebook page yet, go over to that Facebook page as well and like it after the show. But right now, go to youtube.com/Man Hour if you listen on any other form, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are doing a giveaway over there, so if you are in the chat, once that giveaway comes up, all you gotta do is put #ManHour, and you are entered in the giveaway. We are giving away a Man Hour t-shirt over there tonight. So all you gotta do is put #ManHour in the chat, and you are entered to win the prize. Head over to manhourradio.com at your convenience as well. Pick up some merchandise. We got t-shirts and the member tab over there as well. You get to see some behind-the-scenes footage after our shows. And last night would have been great to see some behind-the-scenes footage because Combs, we had quite the weird show last night, Mr. Roboto. But how is your day going today so far?
Hey, today seems like it's going a lot better. I am told I do not sound like a robot. And that beginning of the show, Man Hour Nation, everybody seems to like that little intro we do, with the exception of one person, which is Michelle, my girlfriend. We get off the show last night. She's like, I hate when you do that. Best damn sports radio show on the planet. So, for one more time, just for Michelle, Man Hour Nation, are you ready for the best damn sports radio show on the planet?
Yes, sir. Let me ask you this question. Why did she hate it? Because you say the word damn?
She says that it just sounds like because we do it every day.
Because we sound cocky? Because we're confident in our abilities to put on the best damn sports show out there?
Hey, when you're the best, you just let everybody know you're the best. That's all.
But at the same time, some people say the best shows don't have to say they're the best because they are the best and they know it and everybody else knows it. So why kind of beat that dead?
We know it and horse? We say it. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
hey, we just got swag, baby. We just got some swag. That's all it is, man. Like we add a little swagger to the show. We always have a good laugh. And speaking of laughs, Wyatt William is calling a basketball game tonight. Ha 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 ha. That was a little bit of jack because he is the second best play-by-play caller here in the southern Indiana area behind Matt Dennison. So if you guys don't know who Matt Dennison is, you should be checking him out at Big X Sports Radio every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m.
Going to fight when you listen to this tomorrow.
But you guys can also find us on the Big X Sports Radio every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Let me go ahead and pop that overlay up there. 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So it's just an hour show, but it is a show that you haven't heard like all week. So go ahead and tune in to there every Saturday morning. And Combs, there's some big things happening over at Big X. They're building a brand new studio, man. So they aren't going to just have one studio now. They're going to have like 2 or 3 studios, and the Man Hour guys might be on there Monday through Friday. So, did you guys just hear what I said?
That's some exciting news, man.
So we are making steps in the right direction. We are expanding our brand. And Combs,
I'm actually coming down to see you and Wyatt next Wednesday.
Yeah, so
Check
next
out
Wednesday,
the new radio
guys.
Station.
Next Wednesday, Combs is going to be on location for Brandon Combs there. So I'm pretty excited about that because, Combs, we've been doing this show together, the Man Hour. We started at After Dark, but the actual Man Hour started like sometime in November. I think it was November 17th was the first actual Man Hour show with the new song, with the new Combs and Buck, and then we added LeBlanc Black for like a little while, but he has been on vacation. Did you see that picture that he texted us just the other day?
Yeah.
This guy is working from a freaking beach with like crystal clear water. I'm like, man, like we are here in snow and rain and you're in a beach. Like,
Yeah, and it's about to be negative freeze your face off for the next week up here in Chicago. Like it's
right.
supposed to be
Let me go.
ridiculously cold.
So my uncle lives up in River Falls, Wisconsin. Shout out to Al. He watches the show a lot, and my aunt is always super proud of us when we're on the TV because she puts the YouTube up on the up on the TV. She's like,
on
"Oh,
TV.
Michael's on TTV," which is awesome, which I love them. But they do that funny app, where like it says it is so cold you're freezing your tail off, or right?
Oh yeah.
And like he sent me a screenshot of for the weather for this next week. Like he is like, do not go outside because you will look smaller than normal. I was like, wow, burn, man, burn. But yeah, so
that is amazing. I used to love that app. I forget what it was called. I think it was called the effing weather app or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it is. I remember looking it up one time. I was living in Vermont. It was like negative 19 out, and it just said, you look up on it and it said balls, cold as balls.
So let me ask you this question, because when I lived in Kansas, like, yes, it did get down to like the teens, but when that wind would cut through your body, it would like rip through your soul. And basically, like once it dropped below like 20 degrees, like it could not get any colder. Like, like obviously it could get colder, but like your body just like I never felt a difference between 20 and like -4. Like, like in Vermont, is it below 20? Like you just can't get any colder?
It is like, I mean, negative. If you get into the positives in the wintertime, anytime between November and March, you're happy. Because it is like negative 15 is the norm out there. It's stupid. Yeah.
Man, like,
I remember the first year I moved up there, it was May, it was like May 15th, May 18th or something like that, and it got 6 inches of snow. And I said, what the hell did I do?
See, in May in Kansas, we already swimming in the lake. Granted, it's only like 50 degrees, but we're out there swimming.
Yeah, and I'm used to Chicago. I mean, Chicago, sure, it gets cold. It's the windy city. It gets pretty cold between December and March, but usually by April we're back in hoodies or starting to get into t-shirts, and by May, I mean, forget it. It's summertime. We're at the ballpark. We're watching games. Or You
guys already have 12 losses on the year and 13 games in.
Go to hell.
So we do see some comments here. So Tim, welcome to the show, man. He did drop a score for us, but we aren't going to reveal his score yet. So once we get back to the break,
he is out of his ever-loving mind.
So Tim, stay tuned as we critique your score there a little bit. But if you guys have not, head over to youtube.com/manhour. Go ahead and watch the live feed over there. The raffle is live. All you got to do is put #manhour to get entered in to win that t-shirt. There's also a poll going over there. Let me make sure the poll is active. Yes, the poll is active. We have who is going to win the Super Bowl. All you got to do is to vote. Exclamation point, vote, space, TB for Tampa Bay or KC for Kansas City, obviously. So, Combs, let's go ahead and take our quick little break to catch our bearings, to get things rolling. And we are going to come with some Super Bowl talk here, guys, right after break, right here on the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com and check out the blog section. We got Tim Leonard. Like, I see him in the chat. He wrote a great blog just last week on the Super Bowl. We have Elias coming on later tonight to talk about his blog as well. So, guys, go over there and check out the blog section over there at manhourradio.com. We'll be right back here on the Man Hour. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buck, Kasha Long, Brandon Combs. Head over to manhourradio.com. Pick yourself up some merchandise, or you can win some merchandise tonight. But simply head over to youtube.com/Man Hour. Go ahead and click on that live feed that we have going on over there, and you can jump up in the chat and put hashtag Man Hour, all one word, to get entered in to win the T-shirt tonight. I put my entry in there. Combs, have you put your entry in there yet?
I have not.
You should.
I was
Hashtag Man
just
Hour.
gambling points, so I could win. I could win a T-shirt.
You could. Anybody's eligible, man. Anybody.
All
Like
right,
the
here we
mods,
go.
the admins.
Hashtag Man Hour. There we go.
Hashtag Man Hour. So anybody can win there. So then it should register your entry, say you have been entered, but you have to be a subscriber to the YouTube channel to be able to win. So simply know that. So it is Super Bowl week. We've had. This has been a very, very odd Super Bowl. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are still practicing in Kansas City. They actually practiced in the snow earlier today to get ready for the Super Bowl. In Tampa, it's going to be like 80 degrees there, which is kind of weird to me. They have an indoor practice facility, so why are they not practicing on the indoor practice facility? But that's besides the point. So let's go ahead and bring up this score that I saw scroll across the stream. Timothy Leonard, professional Leonard, has the Chiefs winning 45-17 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this Super Bowl. Combs, we aren't going to give our scores and our picks quite yet, but this one seems a little in left field to me. What are your initial thoughts when you saw that score?
I mean, I saw the comment he put after it, which explained why he picked it. I disagree.
I didn't see that comment.
He came up right here. It is right here.
Oh, there it is.
Chiefs, unlike Packers, will capitalize on Brady's interceptions, which I agree. If Brady makes those mistakes, the Chiefs will capitalize on them. However, you're underestimating that Bucs defense. That Bucs defense is really, really good, especially inside the red zone. And to lose to have Tom Brady lose the Super Bowl by 28 points?
That's a lot.
I don't see it. I see this one being a close game, whether it's high scoring or low scoring. I see this one being a close game. I mean, hey, look, one thing I've learned throughout the time is that Professor Leonard knows his stuff. So I'm not going to question his knowledge of the game. I just going to disagree with the score there.
Yeah, we've obviously been doing NFL picks all season, and I'm never going to discredit somebody's opinion whatsoever. So obviously Tim puts in because you've seen his Excel sheet. He puts in a lot of work to pick out his scores and bets and all that stuff. But man, that almost seems like a blowout. And
well, that is a blowout. That's a 4-touchdown win.
Right. Yeah. I just Tim, I respect your pick. I'm not going to scrutinize it by any ways whatsoever. But man, that is a lot of points given up, especially since the point spread's down 2 points. I think it is in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. But
you think maybe there's a little bit of Tom Brady hater in there? Yeah, I feel like a lot of the people that are
Tim
picking,
from Florida though. Shouldn't he be a Tom Brady fan now?
Well, Tim's a Tennessee Titans fan,
right?
But he I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people, especially the Tom Brady, the Tom Brady haters, the naysayers, the people that don't want Tom Brady to succeed, are really the ones that are saying, "Oh, Kansas City's gonna roll them. Kansas City's gonna roll them." I just don't see. I don't see either team rolling either one of them. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a great game. I just, I don't know.
Yeah, so Tim also comes over here on the chat line, guys. If you guys want us to be a lot more interactive on the chat, head over to youtube.com/Man Hour, and we'll see those comments a lot faster over there. It seems to pop up on our screens a lot faster. But Tim says you do not have to see it, but the numbers are clear. So like I said, guys, Tim does hours of work of getting these numbers, crunching the numbers. I don't know the formula like he uses by any means, but x squared plus y squared equals z squared to the square root of 6 equals 49 points. So
yeah.
So yeah.
And it's funny because when we were doing our picks against the spread, me and Professor there, we were pretty close. At the beginning of the season, we were a little far out, but as the season wore on and we got to see more games, we were very like-minded in our picks. Like it was very hard for us to find picks where we weren't, picking the same team. But I disagree with him on this one. I think I can't put Tom Brady losing by 4 touchdowns in any game, let alone a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so let me ask you this question. So when you guys said like later in the year, like your pits became more clear, was that because you guys didn't get to see any preseason games or like anything?
Yeah, if you look back to the beginning of the season was crazy. I mean, we had teams
Tampa Bay was
winning.
sucked.
Yeah, we had teams winning that nobody saw coming on. Nobody saw the Dolphins starting out the way that they did. Nobody saw, you know what I mean? So we just got, I think a big part of it was no preseason. I think a big part of it was COVID and the effect that had on games and stuff like that early in the season. So I think that's where it was, but it's just like any season. I mean, if you start out your first week and you pick a bunch of games, so there's always going to be those teams you think are better than what they are. And then as the season goes on, there's always them teams where you thought were going to be really, really good who just aren't. So it was just, I think as the season goes on, we could see what was happening. We could see who was good. We both know our stuff. We both, study the games.
Right.
So I think we just became on the same page for the most part. And like he likes to remind me, he's still up by 3 games on me this year. So,
really,
I'm pretty good this playoff season.
Yeah,
I've
you're
been
what?
pretty good this playoff season. I think
You
I
are
lost 2
9-3, right?
No, 2. I lost 2 games.
Well, you were 8-2 going into the championship game, and then you picked the Bills to beat the Chiefs, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right,
so
3.
so-
I
yeah,
forgot
so-
about
so-
that second game. Yep.
Which is still mean like group. It's still a pretty good feat, man. Like 9-3, like I mean that's pretty good to me.
But
So,
and 2 of those losses are on the Browns. I picked against
Right.
them the first game against the Steelers, and then I picked them to win against Kansas City, and neither one of those panned out well for me.
yeah, and I'm not for sure what my picks are, but I think I'm probably right around 500 to be honest with you. Like I picked some upsets that did not pan out. I definitely picked the Bears to beat the Saints, and obviously that did not win.
Yeah.
So like other than that, and then obviously I picked the Steelers to beat the Browns. I think it was. So there's 2 losses right there off the top of my head. I think I had the Titans beating the Ravens. So yeah, like that first week alone, I think I went 500. So I mean, it was definitely a rough week for me. And then of course, I'm going to pick my fandom toward the end there. Which I mean, why not? Kansas City Chiefs,
Yeah.
Super Bowl champions, right? Right there.
Yeah, and
Flex that out.
they might even repeat. It remains to be seen. Like I said, I still don't. I know we're gonna pick the games later. I still don't even know who I'm gonna pick yet.
Yeah.
This game is going to be so tight and so good and so well contested. It's hard to pick a winner.
Let me tell you, by the fact that I am not going to let my fandom pick games in the Super Bowl game whatsoever. So there are times when you let fandom, like your rooting interest, pick one way or the other.
Yeah,
I'm picking this Super Bowl game simply off of like what I see on paper, 100%. So is that a spoiler alert? Probably, but I'm just letting you know that I'm picking total not fandom whatsoever at all there. So let's go ahead and jump over to the chat here and see what Tim just said to us. He said by the end of the first half, the Chiefs will be up by 10 with less than 10 minutes on the field, with at least 1 interception by Brady. So what I'm kind of gathering by reading between the lines here is that Tim Leonard thinks the Chiefs are going to strike down the field fast, early, and often, much like what they did in the first quarter versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Week 12, I think they played, when Tyreek Hill had 3 touchdowns in the first half, first quarter, and like 200 yards. Is that what you're kind of getting from that, Combs?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from that, and that's why I don't think that happens again this time. Like, because, good teams learn from their mistakes.
Right.
And the way Tyreek Hill exploded in that game, I mean, it was just one of those games where he just went off. I can't see it happen. If it does happen again, if he goes off again and they just can't seem to contain him, Tim's right. I mean, it's going to be a long day for Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. But I can't imagine that happening. This Tampa Bay Bucs team is a different team than it was Week 12. It's a different team than it was even Week 15.
Yeah.
They something once they got into the playoffs, man, it just clicked for them. And,
why does Tom Brady always
Tom
has
Brady?
his team? Yeah, he always has his teams playing the best the last month of the season.
Did you see the thing where he told his guys? So he had a couple of guys who were shedding some tears, for heading to the Super Bowl. They're excited, crying happy tears. Tom Brady's in the locker room. He says, "Why are you crying? You stop fucking crying right now because we ain't done yet." That to me, I was like, "That's a leader. That's what."
That
That's
is also
what
a
you
guy
want.
being there 50% of the time. So he's played 20 years. He's made the Super Bowl 10 times. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
what you need for these guys who have
Right.
no experience heading into this game is you need that guy who's going to say, "Hey, look, I know you're excited. I know that you're there, but look, we've got to calm down a little bit. You've got to control your nerves heading into this game if we're going to have a chance to win this game." I mean, you see it time and time again with leadership. I mean, I'll never forget the 2016 Cubs World Series when Anthony Rizzo goes up to David Ross in the dugout. It was David Ross's final game. Everybody remembers Grandpa Rossi, who's now coaching for him. But Rizzo goes up to him. He goes, "I'm a glass case of emotions right now." This was like the 5th inning, and they were up big. And Rossi goes, "Well, settle down because it's only going to get worse." So, you need that leader, that veteran guy who's been there before to tell these guys, "Hey, look, I get what you're going through, but here's what to look for. And calm yourself, and let's get there."
Yeah, and that is exactly why I always I am a firm believer that you have to learn how to lose in those big games before you know how to win. Because your first time there, you are going to be shell shocked. You're going to have these big old eyes. You're going to be crying and happy just because you made it there, and then you get your butt whooped, and you're like, "Man, I want that back." So then you work that much harder the next year, and that's almost why it is so hard to repeat as champion, because you've been there, you've been to the promised land, and you won. There is no other feeling greater than that, than winning a championship. So you kind of ease off the gas just a little bit, because you kind of expect it, I think,
especially
almost.
with a Tom Brady. I mean, like you said, the guy's been there half of his career now. So it's one of those guys who's also lost. I mean, I tweeted at you earlier today and asked you what you think, because it said the key to Kansas City winning, and it has Eli Manning in a Kansas City uniform.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, that's Tom Brady's kryptonite is Eli Manning. I don't know what it is. Eli Manning and backup quarterbacks in the Super Bowl seem to just have their way with Tom Brady, but I like this matchup. I think we're going to get a great game. I think it is going to be a back and forth battle right up until the end. I really feel like this is going to be a who has the ball last type of game.
Yeah. And I don't want to flash back too much, but if you flash back to Week 12 a little bit, the fact that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were not worried about Tyreek Hill in that game. Let's be flat out honest. Their worry was Travis Kelce that whole game. Tyreek Hill, yes, he was having a good season, but he did not have a career season, right? He was just he was kind of flying under the radar at that point. I think in that point of the season, there was 3 or 4 weeks in a row there that he had 1 or 2 catches in the game. So he was flying under the radar. Travis Kelce was blowing up. He was getting 10, 12 targets every game.
You keep flashing back to that Week 12 matchup, and yes, I mean, look, Mahomes, I think he threw for 460 yards or something crazy like that.
It was stupid.
And we know that Tyreek Hill went off. If I remember, they only won that game by 3 points, right?
Yeah. No, it was a little bit more lopsided than that, but I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs really scored after that. So you are right. That final score was 27-24. And the Kansas City Chiefs scored 17 points in the first quarter, and then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the fourth quarter came on hot. They scored 14 points to the Chiefs 0.
And see, that's the thing. When you're down, I mean, look, you could be up big in this game. The Kansas City Chiefs could go into this, like Tim says, up 10 in the first half. You could be up by 20 heading into the fourth quarter. Ask the Atlanta Falcons how that happened with Tom Brady.
Right.
Look, Tom Brady is never done. They came back in that game in Week 12. It was a 3-point game. They scored 14 points in the fourth quarter, like you said. Nothing says that can't happen again. Now, does Tom Brady make those same mistakes? Maybe. I'd have to go back and look at it to see how many mistakes were actually on him. What happened. Like last week, I believe, he threw 3 interceptions.
Are you referring to the week 12 game?
No, I'm talking about last week because Tim Leonard said that the Chiefs will capitalize on the 3 interceptions. I believe 2 of those interceptions last week from Tom Brady were on tipped balls. So,
I can I can think of one for sure. It was a slant.
Yeah.
I think Scotty Miller I think it bounced off his helmet.
I think it was
flew back
Yeah, I think it was Brait.
Okay, there you go.
Brait. And he went up for a pass and it hit him in the helmet and popped up and it was an interception. But
that was the third one too, I think. So
that's the other thing. Yeah. If he does throw 3 interceptions, we've said this, and I've said this ever since that game. He's 3-1 when he throws 3 interceptions.
Right.
This guy.
Which how crazy
unhuman.
is that? How crazy is that?
Yes, he's not human.
Man.
He is not human. Tom Brady is of another world, and I don't care how. And the Chiefs are really, really good, man. Look, the Chiefs are good. They're going to be good for a very, very long time. Which another stat that blew my mind that I saw today. Travis Kelce is the same age as Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
I thought Rob Gronkowski was heading towards 50, and Travis Kelce was just barely out of college. That's what.
Yeah, they are the same age, but I think Gronk came out of college early, if I'm not mistaken, and Kelce did play his full college eligibility at Cincinnati. So Gronk came out of has obviously been in the league a little bit longer, but also he also hit his prime a lot earlier, because they had that because Gronk came before Aaron Hernandez, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the reason why
man, what a waste of talent.
That's a tough story. Like if you guys have not watched it's on Netflix, isn't it? The Aaron Hernandez.
Oh yeah,
story?
yeah.
Definitely a good watch though.
Oh, but it was amazing.
But,
I binge watched it in one day. It was absolutely amazing.
But the reason why the Patriots drafted him, not because he was a great talent, because Gronk already had 3 or 4 good years, and he could just not stay healthy. It was it was his back, it was his elbow.
Anytime you hit him, he got a concussion.
Yeah.
Then his knees were going. He is not a guy. That's why I say all the time, when he said, he was coming back, I said, great. Well, maybe they should play in week 1 and then, not again until week 16 because that's how you keep Gronk healthy. You always
he was also bigger though.
Gronk.
He was probably 250, 260 when he was in his prime.
Gronk hasn't been a big part of that package this year from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cameron Brate's been their biggest tight end. They've got a lot of weapons in Tampa Bay. As Tim Leonard says, the only back and forth battle that will be occurring during the game is me deciding what snacks to eat during the blowout game. I don't know, man. I don't see it.
I mean, obviously the numbers are there because flashback to the Week 12 game. Granted, they are 2 different teams. At this point in time, going into that fourth quarter, the Chiefs were up by 17 points going into the fourth quarter. They did take their foot off the gas a little bit. They stopped blitzing and they started playing that zone coverage, which eats us up every time.
What did we say in the World Series when the numbers took the Tampa Bay pitcher out early in the 6th inning, and
stupid analytics,
and he was flying, and he was there was no reason why you're taking Snell out of that game, and they take him out of that game because of the numbers told them to. And it didn't. The numbers, yes, the numbers are great. The numbers are there. I love looking at the numbers.
No, you don't.
They make
Shut
for
your
great
mouth.
talk.
You are not an analytics guy.
I do. No, I think that they're fun. I think that it's fun to listen to and then watch when things go. But sometimes you got to use your eye test too, and the eye test tells you that Tom Brady is not getting murdered in this game. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
So you keep telling me that Tom Brady isn't going to get murdered in this game. So let's talk a little bit of X factor on the defensive side of the ball. Who is going to be an X factor for the Kansas City Chiefs on the defensive side of the ball?
If they're going to play the way that Tim Leonard says they're going to play, it's got to be Tyrann Mathieu.
Right.
He's got to wreak havoc in the secondary. He's got to be a ball hawk, and he is. I mean, look, they call him the Honey Badger for a reason. The guy, not only is he a ball hawk, but he gets in your head. The way he talks trash and the way he gets you going and gets in your head. I seen him in the AFC title game getting in heads of the linemen. Like
after he got his ass kicked, there's like, yeah, good job, buddy. But hey, we tackled him for like a loss. Like he was hyped as heck, man.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. So on the Chiefs side, I think it's Tyrann Mathieu. He has to wreak havoc.
Yeah, he has. So in the NFL, numbers are going to be skewed for you, especially in the secondary and as a defensive lineman. When you are that dominant and that good, they will simply go to the other side of the ball. Let me tell you why Tyrann Mathieu is a great choice for the X factor. Let's flash back to the Cleveland Browns game. He was the Cleveland Brown receiver. I don't know who it was. Landry, ran a lazy drag route and was sitting there, right? Tyrann Mathieu knew the route was coming. He baited Baker Mayfield into throwing that ball, and the Honey Badger broke so hard, so fast on that ball that I thought the ball was thrown to him the whole freaking time. I thought it was a horrible pass, and then he picked it, and I think he returned it for 30 or 40 yards to basically kind of seal that game in the end. But then you look at him, what he does in the running game. He comes up and he cuts off the outside game so fast and so quick. He doesn't make the tackles, but he is pushing the play into those linebackers and into that defensive front. So I think one of the X factors besides your Honey Badger, that is a great choice. It is going to be the front four of the Kansas City Chiefs. How much pressure can they get on Tom Brady without blitzing? Because I think once the Kansas City Chiefs start to blitzing a lot, Tom Brady is going to eat them apart. He is really good with that 2-second drop, boom, like it is out. So Chris Jones is going to be my X factor for the Kansas City Chiefs this game. Hopefully he can get some pressure on that Tom Brady pass rush as much as he can. Right. So the Honey Badger can sit in his zone, like his man zone, disguise, cover, nickel, cloud, whatever he does, and get some picks.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, you're not going to bait Baker Mayfield or Tom Brady the same way you bait Baker Mayfield.
Right.
That's going to be the difference. Is you're going to have to play smart if you're going to do the things or pick off Tom Brady, or you're going to need a deflection and then, it land in the right spot.
Well, so the one thing that the Packers did well versus Tom Brady was they did disguise their coverages really well. They would sit in the flats, but they were actually going to bail. And then that's when Tom Brady got a lot of their interceptions. So there is some Tom
Brady has now had 2 weeks to watch that film, and that's not going to happen to him twice.
No.
That's the thing. That's why I keep going back and forth with who is really going to win this game. I don't think that a high-scoring game favors one team. I don't think a low score favors one team. I don't know where they go with there is nothing that favors one person over the other, especially when you have Tom Brady who's had 2 weeks to watch the film.
The one thing that does favor one team over the other is the fact that I do have Tom Brady that has been there 10 times. Listening to the media Zoom conference with Patrick Mahomes, I believe it was Tuesday, he almost came off to me as awestruck, a tad bit. He was saying, I get to play against my friend Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, and he was kind of he was almost awestruck. Now could that have been just a front saying, hey, we're cool, calm, collective, we are relaxed, and I can talk like this? Or was he actually thinking oh wow, I get to play against the greatest quarterback of all time? like that right there is kind of a deciding factor in the game. Is Patrick Mahomes really awestruck of the prisoner of the of the game, or is he actually going to do what Patrick Mahomes does? Like, that's the question there.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that defense attacks Patty Mahomes, because there's really almost no way to attack Patty Mahomes. It's, you're going to have to disguise your coverages really well. If you're going to blitz, you're going to have to disguise that really well. It's hard to get Patrick Mahomes in trouble because he's such a good playmaker, because he can make things happen from all angles on the field. It's going to be an interesting battle. I cannot wait for Sunday, man.
Yeah, and as Drew comes over here in the comments, welcome to the show, Drew. Glad to have you back here, man. Like as always, he says, I believe this is the one of the most evenly Super Bowls that he can remember. And Drew goes back a while. I mean, I don't know his age by any means, but he has seen a lot of sports games and sports big games. And I mean, if Drew's saying it, I mean, I have to kind of agree with that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember a time. The last time I didn't know who to pick in a Super Bowl, it was probably, it was probably the Bears and Colts, to be honest with you, because it was the same thing. It was like the defense was so good. What Bears defense shows up? How do they attack, Peyton Manning at the time? How do they stop Marvin Harrison and all that? And then it was how do the Colts, contain Devin Hester and what do they do to get points on the board and all that. And in the first half, the Bears looked really, really good. And then, we decided to play zone coverage and we lost that Super Bowl.
Yeah, speaking of a defense of that game, I can throw a Peyton Manning game out there as well. It was the Denver Broncos versus the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. That was kind of a Super Bowl where I was like, I don't know, because at the time, guys, the Seattle Seahawks defense was a legion of a boom. They were in their prime.
They were good.
I believe they went back-to-back Super Bowls because they lost to the Patriots the previous year and they went back to the Super Bowl, or they played the Patriots the next year. I can't remember how it worked, but they were back-to-back.
They played the Patriots the next year, I believe, because that was the year they should have won it again and they threw the ball on the goal line.
Yeah, but I mean, that was the only Super Bowl that I could really remember. Where I don't know who to pick. I want to root for Peyton Manning, but I love what the Legion of Boom is doing.
Did Seattle win one? I can't remember. I was thinking about that today. Did Seattle win a Super Bowl with?
I'm pretty sure they won at least one because they went to 3 in 5 years or something. Right?
I remember them going a lot. I just couldn't remember if they ever won. I remember them losing to New England.
I thought they beat the Broncos because.
I thought they lost to the Broncos because then Peyton Manning won his only Super Bowl with the Broncos, I thought.
But they went Super Bowl back-to-back years, I thought.
Oh, did they?
I'm pretty sure because
but anyway.
Because if I remember that game correctly, it was one of the first snaps. The snap went over Peyton Manning's head and they got a safety or a touchdown. The Seahawks got a safety or a touchdown to start the game. And I think the game was over at that point.
Okay.
I can't remember though. I mean, shit. Is it bad that we cannot? So yeah. I just Googled it, and they beat the Denver Broncos 43-8 that year, 2014.
Okay, yeah.
So,
all right.
And then the Broncos would have won the next year in 2015 because Peyton Manning retired, and he has been out of the league for 5 years now because he's Hall of Fame eligible.
Hall of Fame, yeah.
Okay. So we talked about the Kansas City Chiefs X factor on the defensive side of the ball. Let's talk a little bit about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers X factor, and I'm gonna go with JPP. JPP has been playing out of his mind.
Stole the words out of my mouth.
He looks prime form right now, man, 100%. But if you are gonna go JPP, I'm gonna stay on the defensive line, and Sue is looking good too.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that front four, but especially JPP. He has been a monster since coming back from the firework injury. The guy is explosive off the line. He is a fire starter. See what I'm doing here? And the guy is just he's very good, and he has been
too soon.
He has been an absolute monster on the line. And so I really think that JPP, Sue, that entire front four or front seven, I guess, is really going to be the X factor for Tampa Bay and what they do to Patty Mahomes.
So, do you think Sue has been the best underrated defensive player of like all time? Because he
gets a bad rap because of his personality. I mean, he's a dick.
Yeah, well,
I mean, what's the over under on what's the over under on if he sacks Patty Mahomes, if he does or does not step on his ankle when he gets up?
I think he has grown. I think he had to be that way in Detroit because they had nobody else around him. Their defense was trash then. You saw them twice a year. That defense
I think he was trying
horrible.
to change the culture and be like, here we come. But he was just doing it in the wrong ways.
Yeah, I mean, he stomped the Bears player, right? Like the offensive lineman.
It might have been. I can't remember.
It was such long ago. But
yeah, he's just.
But
I mean.
But ever since he has left the Detroit Lions, he went to the Rams and now he's with. Did he play with the Falcons for 1 year? I think maybe
the Dolphins, I believe.
Okay, so the Rams, Dolphins, and now the Bucks. Man, like you have not heard anything about him, like anything negative press. So he has been silently flying under the radar and doing really damn good. Like the reason why you didn't hear a lot of his name when he was in Miami because Miami was at 3-13, 12-14 those years that he was there, and it wasn't because of the defensive side of the ball, because the offense was nobody. So as Drew comes up and says, Sue is a beast. Yeah, I remember watching him in college, man. Granted, I never got to play against him because I was not playing at the time when he was in Nebraska, but man, he was a fucking beast.
Yeah. And he says he's actually a very nice guy, and that he's grown up a lot. You're right. I mean, I have not heard anything about him over the last, I'd say, probably 6 seasons of his antics or anything like that. And he probably could be a very nice guy. I've never met
Notice
the
those
guy,
are all on the field antics, too.
But
Nothing off the field.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think it was him trying to change a culture in Detroit, a losing culture in Detroit, and it just didn't work, mostly because it's Detroit and they're always going to have a losing culture. But that's beyond it. I just think that Sue's just a great player, man. He's one of those guys who every single year finds himself in these situations where he's got a chance to win. So.
Yeah, and just I am a player like Sue, off the field, I am humble and kind. But once I put the eye black on and walk across those lines into the stadium, I was a complete dick. I was out there to. I was out there to hurt you. I was out there to flex on you, and I was out there to ball out. I mean, not permanently hurt you, but I wanted you to know I was coming for you every shot I got. So
you weren't trying to saints anybody, but you were trying to go out there and just
anytime somebody would run a slant route on me, whether they caught it or not, I was always taught in the first half, you lay the MFer out. You do not go for a pick whatsoever. You run through him. You run through him so hard that you kiss the quarterback on the cheek. I have instilled that into my kids, on the high school level, because at the high school level you can touch the kids until the ball is in the air. So
yeah.
as a linebacker coach, nobody is running crossing routes on us whatsoever. We are laying you out every time.
That's why I play quarterback. You can't touch me. That's why.
You know what? I can touch you, and
but if you do, you're gonna sit for the rest of the game.
You see, that is what is so good about playing with me is I give you one personal foul a game, but you better make it damn good. This better not be no extracurricular pushing. You better go knock him the F out, right? That's exactly what you are going to do. So I will give you one personal foul a game. And if you mess it up, I'm gonna let you know about it. But if it's a good one, hell yeah, pat on the sun.
We used to in hockey, we used to have, so we had a coach, if we knew that, he was telling his team to play dirty or to hit you when you weren't looking or what, because you could always tell how a coach reacts to a penalty, right? And then we would wait until he wasn't looking, and then we would freaking shoot one into the bench.
Dick. That's a dick move there. That is a dick move. But guys, we're going to take a quick little break on the Man Hour. We got a special guest coming to break some more down of the guest, a blog writer over here at manhourradio.com. So be sure to head over to manhourradio.com and check out his blog. I'll post it on the YouTube link here, like here, guys, once over the break. We're going to take a little quick break, and we'll be right back and join our special guest. Are you ready, Combs?
Always.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheister along with Brandon Combs. If you've missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can download this on podcast form, iHeartRadio, iTunes, or Spotify, or just head over to manhourradio.com. Simply click on the podcast link, and you can catch the podcast right after this show. Or you can catch us on 313 The Flash. That's 313theflash.com every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. and noon, and also on Big X Sports Radio 96.1 right here in Louisville, Kentucky. So Combs,
hey, Buck, what are these points on YouTube that people can play? Why don't you tell? Because I just gambled, and all of a sudden now I have like 1,806,000 points. So,
right. So basically, guys, over here on the YouTube page, I have been doing some loyalty points, some like test runs. So how you get loyalty points is you simply watch it. So every 5 minutes that you watch, you get a point. Every time you comment, you get like 10 points, and then you can gamble those points as well. You can push exclamation point gamble and how every points that you want to gamble. Of course, you have to have those points, and you get a chance to win a prize at the end of the week. A guy I've been doing a test run on it, and it seems to be working very, very, very well. So starting next week, we are going to be giving away our top loyal fan. At the end of each week, we are going to give you a special gift away. So at the start of each week over on YouTube, we will reset the loyalty points. It is all managed on the back end there, and you get points for comments, watch time, and of course you can gamble those as well to get more chance. And at the end of the week, the top loyal fan will win a prize. So that's what's going on.
I got like 1 million points, so I better be getting a prize or something this week.
Well,
loyal as hell.
Let's see who the top points are here, as I put exclamation point or exclamation top to see who the top 10 are. And Combs, you did slide into first place there, man. So you got 1.8 million, I got 1.6, and then Combs Jr. has 219. So
I'll have to tell him how that works.
you guys need to step up your game. But guys, let's welcome a special guest onto the show, a blog writer over here at the Man Hour, Elias. Elias, what's going on today, man?
Nothing much, man. Been busy covering a world of sports. Currently watching a hockey game right now, based out of Montreal. So that's what I've also been doing. Also been focusing on a little bit of tennis and as well football as well.
Who watches tennis? We don't watch tennis.
I watch tennis. What are you talking about?
No, you don't, Colin.
Tennis? I do watch tennis. I watch tennis all the time.
Yeah, honestly, I do love watching the women's tennis, and that's not like that is not just a sexual thing whatsoever. It's just I think the women tennis players are more into it and better than most of the men. Because like the men's tennis, like you have like your top 4 and then like the rest, and then the women's, it seems to be more spread out, more like the top 30 or top 40. Like Elias, am I kind of on the right track there?
The women's field is way more wide open, and I'm going to tell you right now, like there's always been arguments like Serena Williams taking on Roger Federer, and even like even John McEnroe said, you know what, I would be scared to face Serena Williams because I know she would kick my butt in a tennis match for sure.
I'll tell you, one of the guys right now in the men's side to watch out for, man, is a Canadian, Denis Shapovalov. I'm gonna mess up his name, Shapovalov.
Shapovalov.
Yeah, he is very, very good. He is a dark horse for a lot of tournaments this season.
Actually, he's actually a very good friend of mine. I used to travel with Tennis Canada pre-pandemic. And funny story, we were in Madrid last November for an event called the Davis Cup, which is basically like the World Cup of tennis.
Yep.
And Canada made it all the way to the final. They lost in the final to Spain. Rafa Nadal, in his home country, won the title. And after, we're at the hotel, and Dennis out of nowhere goes, okay, we're all getting shots. I was like, okay. So Dennis actually ended up getting me pretty hammered. We're to a point where the doctor literally needed to be carrying me out, put me in a taxi, and then the taxi brought me to my own hotel because I was staying at a different hotel, which was pretty funny.
That's a great story. So we brought you on here to talk a little bit of Super Bowl. Obviously, the game of the year right now. We do have the Tampa Bay Bucks taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. That's right. I said the Kansas City Chiefs because they will repeat this year. Spoiler alert. So who do you got winning this game and why?
I mean, you could never doubt the GOAT. I've been following this guy for 20 years. I was a diehard Patriots fan for 20 years. And what he does is just he's excelled at it no matter how old he is. Everyone's saying, oh, he's too old. Everyone loves to hate him, but he's there and he's killing it. He has a great offense around him. He has a great defense around him. Defense really stepped up in that last game against Green Bay. They were a huge factor as to why they were able to win that game. I honestly have the Bucks, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I really
obviously
in a Super Bowl environment, like the last couple of Super Bowls that Brady has lost, either it's come with an untimely mistake or against Philadelphia, he had that one interception. There was that game against the Giants where somehow the football stuck to David Tyree's head, and then you have the other one, which I think it was a play that was supposed to be like out of bounds, but was stealing in bounds, was basically sealed the game. I think it was against the Giants. And, sorry?
Wasn't that the Eagles game?
Yeah, I think it was the Eagles game. So, I mean, in that type of environment, Brady's going to come out. He's going to go for it. He has so many offensive weapons. Antonio Brown actually just got upgraded today. So I think there's a good chance that he will play. And, you got guys on defense like Ndamukong Suh, Jason Pierre-Paul, Levante David, Jamel Dean. Offense, you have guys like Mike Evans. They actually made a video on TSN, which is a Canadian version of ESPN, where they basically said that Tom Brady somehow has turned the Tampa Bay Buccaneers into the new New England Patriots with all the weapons around them. And they were talking about how Bruce Arians actually gives him more freedom than Bill Belichick had given him in those 20 years, meaning that Tom Brady is actually allowed to basically coach, call every play he wants to, set up the offensive line how he wants to, with those tight ends, how he plays them, how he does his formation. So,
well, that's because Bruce Arians is probably one of the worst coaches in the NFL. So Tom Brady has to coach a team, or they wouldn't be where they're at. Let's be flat out honest.
Yeah, I agree with that actually.
Yeah, look, Tom Brady to me, and I said this earlier in the show, Elias, is that Tom Brady is that guy that you just can't bet against. He He is no matter how many times you get there, no matter how many mistakes he makes, the guy is 3-1 in the playoffs when he throws 3 interceptions. That's not human. Like that's not human. That's not something that any quarterback can say. I guarantee you, no other quarterback in the NFL can ever say, every time I throw 3 interceptions, we win 3 games out of 4. Like,
Combs,
that is unfathomable to me.
You know what else? What every other quarterback in the NFL cannot say is that
They've been to 10 Super Bowls?
They cannot say that they've had a snowplow come out and cover and carve a line for them. They cannot say that they have been caught cheating 4 times with just a slap on the wrist. But he had like a 3-game suspension. Like, come on, man.
Give me a break. First of all, when Deflategate started, they didn't even, like, so many quarterbacks, even the great Aaron Rodgers says, yeah, I like to take a little bit of air out of the balls in our games too. Like, it happens all over. Stop with the they cheated, they did this. Stop it.
Guys, I got a great story. So actually, funny story. I was actually at that game. I was at the Deflategate in New England. It was pouring rain for 4 hours. I'm sorry, but if it's pouring rain for 4 hours, the ball is gonna have a certain effect. It's gonna affect the ball somehow. That's basically my take on it.
Yeah.
So they're going to lose 5 pounds of air?
Oh, it was 2 pounds. 2 pounds of air for one, and for two, like, go take a football, Buck. I mean, you should know this better than anybody. You've played football at the highest level. Now, take that football, fill it with air, and throw it as far as you can. Then take that ball, take 2 pounds of air out of it, and throw that ball as far as you can. Let's see which one you throw further.
The harder one.
Exactly.
But it's easier for the receivers to catch a flatter ball.
Come on, Buck.
No, I mean, that's just the way it is.
Also, I feel Roger Goodell's been kind of a dictator recently with the way he treated the Patriots those last couple of years that Brady was there. That's my personal take on it.
That's why I hate Roger Goodell so much, is he made me go out and get a Patriots Tom Brady jersey. That's how much he was hating on the Patriots and Tom Brady. He made me root for them for a season to come back and win a Super Bowl after suspending Tom Brady. I was like, you know what? Now I'm rooting for him.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who's going to be playing his 7th Super Bowl out of 10. So I mean, no other quarterback can say that they've done that.
Well, he is not going to win his 7th. So, I mean, you can tell me that the Bucs are going to win, but I'm going to tell you that the Chiefs are going to win. But tell me why the Buccaneers are going to win. And just don't say, because they got Mike Evans and JPP. Give me the reason actually why they're going to win.
Because of the pass defense. Kansas City Chiefs, I think, are one of the worst when it comes to the pass defense. And Brady, at times, knows how to throw the ball. So I think this is a game where you can see Tom Brady throw the ball a lot as opposed to just running the ball, because their run defense is a lot better. Also, I think Tampa Bay has one of the best defenses when it comes to, I think, the rush. I'm trying to say my facts correctly. I may be wrong. But yeah, those are the reasons I've actually been researching this for like the last couple of days, and that's what I found out.
So you are telling me that the Kansas City Chiefs pass defense is one of the worst in the league, right? And, like, to be honest, that is the strength of the Kansas City Chiefs defense, is their back 7. The reason why they are in the positions that they are to get exposed is because the front 4 just they haven't getting pressure on the quarterback or stopping the run. So Chris Jones and Frank Clark need to earn their money and get pressure on the quarterback and stop giving so much time to pass the ball.
No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's going to be a tough game. You know, last time they played, Tampa Bay lost by 3, just to show you how tight it was. And I'm really expecting another tight game. I'm saying it's going to be under 56 points.
So Elias, now I've been saying bet the over, which is 56.5 all week long. Like, I think this is going to be a high scoring game, but there's a potential for it to be a low scoring game too, which I don't think favors any team either way. I think both teams have equal amount of chance, whether it's high scoring or low scoring. The question I have for you, we have another blog writer, Tim, who said that the Chiefs are going to win this game 45-17. Is there any way you see this game being a blowout on either side?
I personally think I don't, because when you have 2 great offensive teams and when you have a team with a defense like Tampa Bay has, it's going to be pretty hard to see a blowout. I think either a very tight defensive game. Super Bowls have been known to be, low-scoring games. Otherwise, it could be an offensive shootout. Those are the other two outcomes that I could think of right now.
Yeah, anytime you like to lie, like you give any professional player 2 weeks to prepare and 2 weeks to heal, I mean, it's going to be a good game, no matter.
Not only
who
that,
the
but you
teams
give
are.
Tom Brady 2 weeks to watch film on you. That's to me right there is the X factor of all X factors. Is Tom Brady's had 2 weeks to watch film.
All right, Elias. Before we let you go, what is your final score of this game?
So I'm predicting Tampa Bay to win 27-20.
And that's exactly how you do not get back on the Man Hour ever again. No, I'm just playing, man. But thank you for joining us, guys. You guys can check out his blogs over at manhourradio.com. Click on the blog section and click on Elias' name there, and it'll bring up all the blogs that he has over there. So, Elias, before we let you go, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, thanks, guys, for having me on. I really appreciate the time. So enjoy the game on Sunday, and then we'll probably chat after that.
Oh, definitely, man. You have a great night. All right, guys, that is Elias. He is a blog writer for the Man Hour. You guys can check out all the blogs at manhourradio.com. Or if you're interested in becoming a blog writer for the Man Hour, go ahead and hit us up on Twitter. You can hit me and Combs up both at manhour_Buck or manhour_Combs. Combs, are you ready for the best segment of the week after this break, man?
Dude, I cannot wait. I've got, especially after last night, I've got a few waiting for it. So,
if you guys don't know what the best segment of the week is, stay tuned after this break. We'll be right back here on the Man Hour, guys. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheis along with Brandon Combs. If you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can download this in podcast form, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, or you can simply head over to manhourradio.com, click on the podcast link, and you can listen to the show directly after this is over. We also upload the clips over at youtubechannel.com, youtube.com/manhour. I upload the clips throughout the day, like as well. So if you just want to jump to a certain part of the show, you go ahead and click on those clips, and we break it down like into each segment there. So 15 minutes, 30 minutes there, respectively. So Combs, during the break, you were popping up some comments there, and I totally spaced it off, guys, that we are trained to, be more interactive with those comments. So, Combs, let's go ahead and address some of those comments before we get into the what does of the day.
Man, there were a lot of them there.
Yeah.
Jameis says, Deflategate's BS. They destroy the Colts. I believe that game was like, I believe
Didn't the Colts win that
after
game
the
too?
Colts complained about the game, no, the Patriots won that game by like 47 points. It was like a ridiculously lopsided score, and they complained about the footballs, which made Deflategate even that much more BS. So I agree with Jameson.
My question is like, yes, I understand a deflated football is easier to catch, but it like we sat here and said it is harder to throw a ball, a flat ball down the field further and longer. So I don't see what the big deal was.
Drew says Chiefs pass rush can make Brady's life very uncomfortable. They can make a lot of quarterbacks very uncomfortable.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
So what the Chiefs did versus the Buffalo Bills was they brought a lot of pressure from the secondary. Honey Badger blitzed on 40% of the plays. So if they're going to do that, it has to happen quick. Because if you guys remember in New England, was it last year or 2 years ago, Tom Brady averaged from snap to pass, it was like under 2 seconds. So he does have a very quick release and can see something and boom and let it go.
Jameson says Buccaneers will win because the Chiefs' offensive line won't be able to protect Patty Mahomes against the Bucs front seven. That's, look, Jameson, I kind of agree, but at the same time, I've also said Patty Mahomes is a playmaker, man.
He's more dangerous outside the pocket.
He finds a way to make things happen. And when you start chasing him outside of the pocket, that's when he finds a way to make those things happen.
Right.
So I just, I just can't wait for Sunday, man. I'm pumped.
And on the flip side of that, yes, there was a slight COVID outbreak along the offensive line, but they've had 3 days of negative tests, and they get 5 negative tests in a row. They can play on Sunday, so they are on pace to letting those guys play.
Right. Tom Brady sent his family away. He's done nothing but sitting and watch film. That should scare the Chiefs.
That should not scare. No.
That should absolutely. Look, I'm telling you right now, people talked up about you don't give Bill Belichick 2 weeks to watch film and to game plan for you and all this other stuff. Maybe that entire time it was Tom Brady who you shouldn't give 2 weeks to study and watch film for. I don't know, man. Look, Tom Brady is phenomenal. But the Chiefs are just every bit as good as the Buccaneers. They're a better team than the Buccaneers are. I'll come out and say it. They are a better team than what the Buccaneers are. But they don't have Tom Brady. Tom Brady is Tom Brady.
So, Combs, I am a football coach, and I probably put 40 hours of film in every week during a football season, as far as scouting and watching practices and adjusting things and getting my players in the right position to succeed. You can only watch so much film before you just start watching the same thing over and over and over, and it gets repetitive, and then you start to lose your eagerness to go out. So the fact that Tom Brady has changed everything that he's been doing all year for these last 2 weeks almost wants to make me say that he might come out flat just because he's mentally exhausted from studying film for 90, 100 plus hours in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kyle Kelly says, I want to be a writer. Hey,
hit us up on Twitter.
Hit us up and, submit a couple of writings. Usually when we're looking for guys, we like to read a couple of their stories before we,
especially early in the morning, about 9:30 in the morning, on my break. I'm in there about 20, 30 minutes.
If you send it to me through Messenger or something, early in the morning when I'm taking my morning, deuce, I will sit there and read the crap out of it. So
there you go,
literally. Jameson says he doesn't need to run, stand in the pocket, and slice and dice you.
So who is he? Was that referred to Patrick Mahomes, maybe?
No, I think he's talking about Tom Brady there.
Oh yeah, he has been on this Buccaneer train all year. So
I have too. I picked him to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year. So
yeah, and I'm glad you guys are respecting that.
They might be a better team, but Tom Brady is the best football player to ever suit it up. He's not.
Are you sure he's the best player ever? All around player ever?
He's the best quarterback ever.
Yeah, he's the best quarterback, but best player. That's a bold. That's a bold statement.
You can't compare. You can't compare positions. You can't pick a best player of all time in the NFL. You just can't.
I can tell you that
nobody played 2 ways.
Right.
Deion
Sanders did, right? Or Bo Jackson. No, I guess Bo Jackson was just a 2-sport athlete.
Yeah, Deion Sanders. But you know, to pick a best player of all time in the NFL, it's just hard. You got to go by position.
Well, I can tell you that if Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson, and Tom Brady were all suiting up, and I had to pick a team that I wanted to play, I would pick a Tom Brady team over a Bo Jackson or Barry Sanders team.
Right. But if I have to go pick a guy to block for my quarterback, I'm not picking Tom Brady to be a freaking offensive guard.
You could be if it's the right guard.
I mean?
Like you could,
and Ndamukong Suh would destroy that man. But anyway, yeah. So we've gotten to the comments here, and now we've got one of my favorite segments of the week where I get to vent on some issues going on.
Let's do it.
So let's do this.
My first thought of the night is going to go out to Microsoft, the corporation. Yes, Microsoft, you sponsored my paintball team way back in the day, but as of now, you guys have been total trash. So every Tuesday, guys, if you guys do not know this, Microsoft pushes out updates to the masses. Sometimes it's a forced update. Sometimes it is they'll let it sit there for like a month or two. Well, this Tuesday, Microsoft pushed out a forced update to my whole corporation. They basically overrid the working hours on your computer. Like, if you guys don't know that you can set your working hours on it, like on a computer, most people set it from like 6 a.m. to like midnight, right? So the updates perform overnight. In the middle of a day, I work IT for a call center. Microsoft pushed out updates. 2:30 in the afternoon, they're saying, hey, we're going to break the systems, force you to do these updates, and there's nothing that you guys can do about it. We were down for 2.5 hours. I was late home. I was hungry. We had a bad show on Wednesday because of Microsoft. I blame Microsoft, guys, 100%. Microsoft, you guys are going to get the what the.
My next what the is going to go out to Apple. You know, I get this nice, $2,700 MacBook, and so it syncs up with my iPad and syncs up with my iPhone, and I could do all sorts of fancy stuff with it. And it says, when would you like to run the updates? Okay, so you want to run your updates at 2 o'clock in the morning? Just leave it plugged in. We'll run the updates for you and all that. So I do. I run the updates every night at 2 o'clock. I leave my computer plugged in, and I go to start the show last night, and what happens? Oh, we need to run an update.
Hello, Mr. Roboto.
You were supposed to run the updates at 2 o'clock in the morning so I don't have to do it 2 minutes before I go on my damn radio show. So, Apple, you get the what the.
My next what the is going to go out to ESPN. ESPN, they are releasing a 30-30 right now called Al Davis versus the NFL. I am very intrigued to watch it. I am very excited to watch it. I thought I had it recording on my Fire Stick right now, but apparently you cannot record 30 for 30s off of ESPN. You have to buy the ESPN app to be able to watch it at a later date. However, I do have ESPN Plus, but it is not available until next Monday. ESPN, just let me watch Al Davis, man. I miss that guy. Just win, baby, win. ESPN, what the?
My next what the is going out to the Kansas City Chiefs. If you are going to have a barber come in and give 20 plus players a haircut, and you know that his results aren't back yet for his COVID test, why are you letting him cut the hairs of your players? Why do you have guys standing in a room with him? And then you had to stop and pull him out once his test came back positive in the middle of a haircut. You got your guy taking his new picture with a half-shaved head and a half head of hair. What the?
before I do my next what the, Combs, can I go political here a little bit on the Man Hour? Just a smidge.
It's what the. Hey, you
Just
can do
a
whatever you
smidge.
want with what the.
All right, so my next what the is going to go out to CNN. Guys, obviously Joe Biden is our president, and like I'm going to back our president. I'm going to vet, support the voters and like all that stuff. But CNN, right now, you guys have been telling me that we have had easy news days because Joe Biden is doing such a great job. He's doing this. Like I'm not discrediting that whatsoever. But then you guys want to come out and say, wonder what Donald Trump is doing. Why are you guys so fascinated on a president that is no longer in office, that you guys have made a living hell for the last 5 years, basically, just news story after news story after news story, Orange Man bad. But let's just talk about Joe Biden moving forward. Who cares about Donald Trump anymore? CNN, what the? Move on, guys. Damn.
It's funny that you wanted to go there, Buck, because that was my next what the as well. Not so much the way that you put it, but I've got a what the for the cancel culture, for the people who like to complain about everything. So we've got a videotape of a country singer who went off, he was drunk, and he was talking amongst his friends, and he got caught on his neighbor's Ring doorbell or something like that, where he said something about, get this blank N-word out of my face. And just 3 days before that, we had LeBron James on the court calling a fan the N-word. But now this country singer has lost his record deal. He's lost any rights to any Grammys that he was nominated for. He's lost this, he's lost that, he's lost this. And LeBron James is still on the court tonight. So cancel culture, all you guys who like to complain about everything, all you guys who like to keep bringing up issues that aren't really issues, you get the what the.
It's funny that you say that because my next what the is kind of geared toward that as well. I was going to go with the whole LeBron James things. What the? Oh, wait. I am going to go with the LeBron James things and what the. If you guys were living under a rock or have not watched the Man Hour, you should. Flashback to what Tuesday show, right? Combs, like when
Yes,
that
sir.
came out. So Pornhub has come out and offered the blonde chick on the sideline yelling LeBron James's name and like doing whatever they were doing. They offered her a $50,000 contract to come do basically have like a fans only on Pornhub.com.
Yeah.
So Pornhub, you guys are getting the what the because I'm not paying any money to see that, Karen.
What if she's doing LeBron?
Sold. ABC.
So my next what is actually going to go out to Kyle Kelly here in the chat, going back and forth with Drew. Drew tells him he's the best quarterback of all time, but not close to being the best player. Kyle says you're wrong. Drew says his opinion. Kyle says it is. They're just going back and forth. I'm over here laughing. Then you talk about CNN, and Drew says the Communist News Network, double standard. Kyle said no one cares about LeBron. So you know what? Kyle and Drew, you guys get the what the. Keep it up, though. We love the comments.
What did you say?
I said keep it up, though, because we love the comments.
Yeah, we would love it a lot more if you guys went over to youtube.com/man hour and went over there and said it. But my next what the of the night is going to go out to the grammar police because I did see that I believe it was Kyle that misused your, but I can already see it right now. I figured Drew's comeback was going to be YOU apostrophe RE with like the star on it. So grammar police, I am tired of you guys. So sometimes when I text my wife, guys, I want to admit it right here because I know she's not watching because she's in bed. I can actually hear her snoring right now, 50 feet away from the house, like in the garage. But
so much trouble.
sometimes I purposely misspelled words, there, yours, opinion, like all that stuff, simply just to get underneath the skin. So, Kyle Kelly, shout out to you for not bowing down to the grammar police, man. But grammar police, you got to get the what does.
I'm gonna bring you back on screen here. So you talk
don't
about
say it.
misspelling words and all that stuff. I'll never forget the time when I was married, my ex-wife, we got into an argument and we were just talking back and forth, and then she said something and I went to write back, "You can't." And can't autocorrected to another C word that women don't like being called. And she thought that I was coming back at her again, and it started a whole nother war. So, yeah, the grammar police, sometimes they suck. But getting back into my what does. So my next what is actually going to go out to the city of Chicago. So we had a snowstorm last weekend. It had to have been at least a foot, maybe 13, 14 inches of snow. And there is a street behind mine. I live on a main road, so our street gets plowed nice. But, to park on my side of the road, I have to drive around and get in front of the house or whatnot. And so whenever you get on to any of these side streets here next to the main road, there is still snow piled up above my bumper in the middle of the road. How have you not come down with a plow and plowed these side streets that have freaking 50 houses on these streets? So, City of Chicago, you get the what the.
Overlay every time. And my final what the of the night is going to go out to the woman. She is a black woman. She has hair, obviously, right? She wanted to basically form fit her hair so she didn't have to style it for the rest of the year. Apparently, that's kind of what I'm getting the gist of it. But so this woman uses Gorilla Glue, Combs. You know what Gorilla Glue is? The strongest glue in the world, right? Better than super glue, better than like the aircraft glue, all that stuff. She uses Gorilla Glue in her hair to style it. Now she is trying to sue Gorilla Glue because her hair fell out as she tried to comb it. What the?
Kyle Kelly gets my last what the again. Comes back on the chat line. First he says that he's drunk. Drew says that explains a lot. Kyle Kelly says, brah, like, stop, man. Tom is the man. I'm a dire Packers fan. Just stop. Tom Brady's the greatest football player ever. We can throw hands on it. Well, you know what? Since you're my cousin, I can say this, Kyle Kelly. If you want to throw hands on it, you might want to be a little bit tougher than you are. And then he comes out and says, Brandon, you don't live in Chirac. Kyle, I moved back to Chicago over a year ago, buddy. Like, what the? Jameson's trying hard, man. He really wants us to touch on this. This is the second time that he said it. I ain't gonna put up his first comment because it goes a little bit too far.
Yeah.
But look, I disagree.
It was killed
with the
before
decision.
Joe Biden made that rule, though, right? Because
Yeah,
because the guy in Texas, I've seen this all over social media. He was like ranked 300th in the high hurdles and like in the men's, and he was just getting worse and worse and worse.
A woman.
So he became a woman. Now he's a national champion. So that was 2018, I think.
Everybody can have their own opinions on it. I have this argument all the time. Again, I have friends who live that lifestyle. I have friends who, and more power to it. Like I still love them all the same. But when it comes down to the sports aspect and the competition aspect, I think maybe we should, review that a little bit. But
or make them take testosterone blockers, so they're no longer fully a man like at all, and they aren't producing the testosterone and hormones that a woman is.
I mean, we could get in. It's just it's gonna get messy. So.
So Kyle Kelly says we can throw hands. So like, are you guys playing like rock paper scissors? Like, is that is that what they call that up in Chicago?
Drew. I know he ain't talking to me because he knows better than that. But he's not gonna throw hands with nobody.
Guys, I can tell you, like, Tom Brady is a great quarterback, probably the greatest of all time. But overall player, like, I don't think he comes in the top 10. To be honest, guys, like a guy ain't going to front.
Look, you can't go overall player. You can't. Like, if you go overall player, you would have to look at a guy who played on both sides of the field and played every position.
No,
like,
you just more dominant at the position, and you can look at Bo Jackson, even though he was only in there for like 3 or 4 years.
Then more dominant at the position, then yes, then Kyle's right, because no other player has gone to 10 Super Bowls in 21 years.
Don't you agree with him at all? Ever?
I'm just saying, if you look at it like that, I mean, I just don't look at it like that, because you can't put Kyle Kelly, you can't put Tom Brady in that offensive guard. You can't put him in at linebacker. You can't, you know what I mean? Like,
well, you could.
It's different. I mean, you could, but I mean, it's a different story. Like, if I put Khalil Mack, who we agree is one of the greatest defensive ends in the game right now, if you put him at cornerback, he'd get torched.
You know what? I would like to do that. Like, I would take, top player at each position and then, move them to quarterback, move them to safety. Then we would find out who the overall best player is, right? Because, like, let's be honest, like, I think there are some linebackers or some safeties out there that can play damn good quarterback and then even better receivers, etc. I mean, that would make them better, right?
No, I agree.
More
I like what Jameson says here. Don't mean to offend anyone, which we know that. Yeah. They should have just have transgender sports, men, women, and transgender problem. So I don't disagree. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. So Jameson, just to be clear, I mean, like, I support your opinions whatsoever, and I agree with like a lot of your opinions, but we are trying to basically like the only reason why I brought up politics just like a tad bit here is because I did watch my man Joel Campbell on the YouTube before the show, The Bearded Truth. If you guys have not checked him out, he should, and he was basically ranting and raving about CNN.
And sometimes sport, politics is brought into sports, so sometimes we have to talk about it, and.
However, we will never have a full show about all political stands ever here on the Man Hour.
And we'll usually only do it during the fun segment.
Yeah, we will sprinkle it in just a dash, and then we'll move on. So speaking of moving on, we're going to take our last break of the night. We teased it all night, but Combs, it is time to pick those Super Bowl winners. You should.
I have
let me give you a little hint right there. What's that say? That says champions, right?
Okay, now I know who I'm picking.
All right, guys, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeister here. If you miss any part of the show whatsoever, head over to iTunes, iHeartRadio, or Spotify. Download this podcast form. Also, leave us a ranking over there. It helps us more than you will ever know. Also, the giveaway over on the youtube.com/Man Hour page had ended, and it looks like Combs, you won the t-shirt tonight, buddy. How do you feel about that?
That is awesome, but I've already got some Man Hour shirts. So, the next person to comment #Man Hour on Twitter, and tag me, you get the shirt.
There you go. At @manhour_Combs is where you can find Brandon Combs' Twitter. So we will be scrolling Twitter right after the show, or actually you can do it right now, Combs, if you want. But a interesting question came over on the YouTube page while we were at break, I should say. Timothy Littard says, "What are some of the prop bets that you guys are making this week?" So let's do the coin toss.
I think he's talking
real
about
quick.
that don't do with the
Yeah.
the game. So I always do coin toss. I always do color of Gatorade, and I always do the national anthem, like how long it takes on the national anthem.
So what is your coin toss going to be?
I am going to go with tails this year.
Because tails never fails, right?
Hey,
Every
tails
time I say that,
win,
tails,
heads you
tails
lose.
votes. Right. So I want to go with head, just be opposite from you. I mean, you have a 50-50 shot, like either way. What color of Gatorade are you going to go with?
So if it's on, actually, I think either way it's going to be red.
Red.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, both teams have red in their color. I think they'll go with red Gatorade.
Do you think red is the best tasting Gatorade out there?
No, I am a grape guy.
Grape guy.
I love even the rushes. Like I love a Riptide Rush.
Really?
But just a flat grape Gatorade is my favorite.
So you're going with red. I'm going to go with blue. Like blue seems to be a pretty good common
There's a
color.
Yeah, there's a lot of good blue Gatorades too, man.
Yeah.
So
my favorite Gatorade is the orange one. It's the watermelon. I think it's watermelon / something else. I can't remember, but it's like the watermelon flavor one. But it's orange.
If you ever don't want to try a Gatorade, don't try the cucumber.
I actually
Gatorade.
like that one a little bit. Like I'm gonna lie. There any of like the zero ones. Like I don't like the zero ones though.
Yeah. No.
Those are give me some sugar, man. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have been teasing it all night, guys. Tim, thank you for being active in the YouTube page there, or the chat, guys. If you were on Facebook, man, head over to youtube.com/Man Hour. Join us over there on the YouTube page. That's where all the fun happens. That's where all the voting happens. That is where all the giveaways happen and that kind of thing. Green Gatorade is the best. What green are you referring to? Because there's like that cucumber one. There's the actual
Lemon
watermelon
lime.
one. Lemon lime. To win on the Gatorade Splash.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jameson says as this is the segment we are going to pick the winners of the games. So Jameson says Tampa Bay Buccaneers 38, Kansas City Chiefs 28. Bottom line is Mahomes is mobile and can move, but the offensive line is rough shape. And White, David, and JGP and Barrett are going to be a beast. And Shoe is going to be a problem. Their secondary is a bunch of ball hawks in Tampa.
Oh, sorry.
And the Tampa Bay's offense is loaded. So yeah.
Yeah, look, there are a lot of reasons that you can give for each team to win. I still can't get over the score that he has.
Yeah, that's a blowout.
So you go first. I still don't know who I'm gonna pick.
You still don't know who you're gonna pick. So I've been going back and forth all week on it, guys. Spoiler alert: I am a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I have so people. First things first, Combs. People called me a bandwagon hopper when I said I'm a Chiefs fan, like because they won the Super Bowl like last year, and then all of a sudden I'm a bandwagon. Guys, I have been a Chiefs fan since '94, '93, '94 when Joe Montana came over. Kansas City Chiefs are my hometown team. I've always rooted for them 100%. They've always been the number one team in my books. So get that bandwagon crap out of here. Now, this is me picking strictly as a Man Hour host, not a fan. So this is going to be a close game. Combs, I know you are going with the over, which is 56.5 points on the like on the over. It looks like Tim is going over. Jameson's score was under, I think, and then
over. He had 38,
okay. So there are 3 scores right now that are over, and Elias, I'm going to agree with him. I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring game. Of course, I said that all playoffs, and they've always been like 45 to 6 points games. But with that being said, Patrick Mahomes is not going to be a prisoner of the moment. Patrick Mahomes is not an awestruck. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs expected to be here, and they deserve to be here. They have been one of the best teams in the NFL all season, from week 1 all the way to week 16. Yes, they stumbled against the Las Vegas Raiders, but that is a divisional game. They always play bad against the Raiders, or maybe not bad against the Raiders, but the Raiders and the Chiefs always play each other really, really close. Like they could be 0-16, 16-0. They're all going to play each other very, very well, very, very solid. The X factor is going to be Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman's going to have 3 touchdowns in this game, probably 130-plus yards receiving. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to shut down Travis Kelce. He's going to have 3 catches for 40-some yards. Tyreek Hill is going to quietly have 60-plus yards like in this game. Le'Veon Bell is not going to play, but Clyde Edwards is going to rush for 97 yards in this game. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes is going to have 300-plus yards passing. With that being said, Kansas City Chiefs win this game 24-21 is the final score. The MVP of the game should be Mecole Hardman, but it's going to be Patrick Mahomes because he's a quarterback at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's funny because my timeline came up today with memories, and it said that Patty Mahomes was not the MVP of last year's Super Bowl either, but they gave it to him as well. Look, I think this is going to be a little bit higher scoring than what you think. I've been saying all week, bet the over. 56.5, bet the over. I am going to go with Tampa Bay, 37-35. They're down 35-30. They're down 35-30 heading into the
I thought we were friends, man.
They're down 35-30 with about 2 minutes left. That's too much time for Tom Brady. He comes down, leads them down the field. There's maybe 20 seconds left for the Kansas City Chiefs to throw a couple Hail Marys, but that Buccaneers defense shuts it down. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like I said preseason, win this Super Bowl, and they win it in a tight one, 37-35.
That would be a great end to a Hall of Fame career for Tom Brady if he could lead a last-second drive to beat.
That's if he retired. This guy's talking about playing until he's like 72. Like, it is ridiculous how long he wants to play football.
37-35. Huh? So in your scenario there, you give the Chiefs 20 seconds left. You guys realize that the Kansas City Chiefs have one of the best special teams kickoff return units out there.
But
if they get out to at least the 40,
and you know what, it might be 38-35. Let's go. You know what? I'm gonna go 38-35 because they'll go for 2 to make it a 3-point game if they score. I'll go 38-35. Plus, that also wins me a lot of money on this pool that I'm in.
And Buckner can hit those 60-yard field goals all day long. He just can't hit PATs.
Right, exactly. So I'm gonna go 38-35.
Let's say that is a score. As a Chiefs fan, I would be sad that we lost, right? Being like I'm not gonna be like rejoice like, oh yeah, we lost, good job guys. Like oh shit.
Oh, you're not gonna take it off and throw your Packers gear on or your Cowboys gear, or
right? No, but I probably will my Cowboys beanie tomorrow because it's supposed to be super cold. But nonetheless, but like, I think
look. Hold on. You have a Cowboys beanie.
Yeah. And I got a Sean Lee autographed hat.
I've got a Bears hoodie. I've got a Bears beanie. I've got a Bears shirt. I've got Bears jerseys. Nowhere are you going to find me wearing a Green Bay Packers hoodie or Green Bay Packers. I'm not going to be wearing, let's throw a random time. I'm not going to wear a Denver Broncos freaking hat. What is wrong with you and guys like LeBlanc and even, who was it, Drew yesterday, who said he's got like 19 teams he roots for?
4 major league teams, but 2 of them are in the same division, which is that was a little suspect there. Like, you can't have 2 teams in the same division. So
all right, carry on.
No, let me defend myself here. So I feel like you can have a rooting interest for 2 teams. I mean, it is not like they are both in the AFC or both in the NFC. I have an NFC team and I have an AFC team. Like, what is wrong?
No, I have one team.
Yeah,
I have the Bears. I don't have an AFC team. I don't have an NFC team. The Bears aren't in it right now. I have no rooting interest in the Super Bowl other than the money that I have on it. There is no, I'm not rooting for anybody to win. If the Buccaneers win like I predict, great. If the Kansas City Chiefs win, cool. You know what I'm looking forward to? The damn draft to see how bad the Bears can screw that up. I don't have another team.
See, but that makes you so depressed on Sundays, man. So
No.
I'm
never depressed. I love my Bears, win or lose. I got a buddy of mine who is a diehard Miami Dolphins fan. His name is Rob LeBrun. Loves his Miami Dolphins. Win or lose, I remember a couple of years back they went 2-14, and at the end of the season he's like, "Yeah, tough season. Hopefully come back stronger next year. Still love my Dolphins." Never once do I see him out there putting up "All right, let's go Cowboys," or "Hey, let's go Patriots," or "Hey, let's go Kansas City Chiefs." No, stop it. One team. Pick your home team, Buck.
My home team is the Kansas City Chiefs. So if the Cowboys ever play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, which it will next year, I will pick the Chiefs to win every time. When the Chiefs and Cowboys play in the regular season, I pick the Chiefs to win every time. The Chiefs are my number 1 team. It's just the Cowboys. I have a rooting interest for them because I
do you own stock in the Cowboys?
No, it's just my family, my family members have been Cowboys fans. So
if your family members jumped off a bridge, you gonna follow them there too?
Probably. Well, why not? me
you might die, Buck. That's why not.
Somebody's breaking in the garage, man.
Uh-oh.
I'm just messing with you. But if they are, what's up? but me let's say if my family members are jumping off a bridge, we're jumping off the bridge for a reason. I mean it's just not like we're doing it just to kill ourselves or something. Jameson says, I root for one team in each conference and for my favorite player, but I would never root against my 49ers. Yeah, I mean, the 49ers are his number 1 team. But you can have rooting interest.
I don't know. That's just not me. I've got my teams. I got the Cubs. To me it's the Cubs and everybody else. I've got the Bears. I've thought about it. If the Bears weren't a team, or if they were never an organization, who would you root for? I might be. Maybe I'm a Vikings fan or a Lions fan. I can never say that I'd ever be a Packers fan, but it's one of those things where you think about if you didn't have a team, who would you root for? After the Bears are done, after the Cubs are done, I'm just a fan of the sport. I want to see good games.
Yeah, you are a fan of the sport, but you still have a rooting interest. You were picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so you are rooting for them to win the game, so you can win some money.
I'm not rooting for them to win. I'm rooting for my money to hit. That's why I changed
so
my
therefore
score from
you are
37
rooting
to
for the
38.
Buccaneers to win. So you do have a rooting interest in the Buccaneers.
But if they lose 35-28, I still win. So I'm still happy.
How do you still win if they win 35-28?
Because it's squares. So it's whatever the last number of their score is. So I have 8 for Buccaneers and 5 for Chiefs. So if it's at the end of the first quarter, if it's 8-5, I win. If at the end of the second quarter it's 18-15, I win. If it's 28, you know what I mean. But it's got to be an 8 for the Buccaneers and a 5 for the Chiefs. It's got to be the final number of their score.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and take our final break of the night. On the other side of the break, Combs, I'm going to throw you a little question here. We're going to do what is the biggest what if in sports. So any sport you want, what is the biggest what ifs? And obviously, you don't like to talk what ifs, so we're going to talk about them. So what ifs in the sports right after the break, guys. You're on the Man Hour. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheim along with Brandon Combs. If you missed any part of the show whatsoever, head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the podcast directly after this live is over. It'll be up there no later than 30, 40 minutes tops. Like, I literally downloaded it right as we were doing the after show, and bada bing, bada boom, it is up there. So, Combs, you know how I said somebody was like breaking into the garage to like kill me and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So for
the wife?
no.
She heard your snoring comment?
No, for what you guys do not know is that my garage is like haunted, and there's this evil ass tree on the other side, and it just fell through the roof on the other side. So I don't know what happened, man. It is not windy, it's not raining, it's like 45 degrees outside, and this 40-foot tree fell on the garage again. So
Yikes.
yeah, at least it's on the opposite side, and like I'm over here, so like if they're trying to kill me, and they have to like work at it, right? They really gotta work at it. So, but all right, guys. So we've had a pretty good show here, a lot better than last night, that's for sure. If you guys are still with us, go ahead and drop us a like on the YouTube page or the Facebook page as well, guys. We love the comments. I have not checked the comments, and it's up to over 100 comments there, like on our side. So Combs is always mans the comments.
Just won another 3 million points on.
There you go. So that will reset next week as we do start the giveaway process over on the Man Hour. So if you guys missed that, starting next Monday at youtube.com/Man Hour, every time we are on, we are going to do loyal base points. You get points for watch time, comments, and shares, and likes as well. And then at the end of Thursday's show, like right time, we'll be giving away a prize to the most loyal fan throughout that week. So Combs.
And don't forget, guys, I won the t-shirt tonight. I'm going to give it away. First person to hit me up at Twitter, at @manhour_Combs, and tweet at me with hashtag I want the shirt, you will get the free shirt.
There you go. So perfect. So if you guys are watching on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, hit them up on Twitter. So Combs, before break, I asked you the question, what is the biggest what if in sports? And you are a hockey guy, baseball guy. I am a football guy, obviously. So I think our biggest what ifs are going to be different here. But what is your biggest what if in sports history?
So you're throwing this a curveball at me here. Is it like what if, like just my personal, like am I just thinking of a personal one?
Your personal what if.
Mine's easy then. What if the steroid era was never considered to be an issue?
Yeah.
What if we accepted steroids? What if we accepted the fact that if a man wants to inject his body with a human growth hormone to help him, better entertain us, be a better ball player, do the things that he wanted to do, heal more efficiently, which is what most of that was used for, who are we to judge? That's my biggest what if.
So, let's say that what if was a thing, and steroids were they're obviously still being used in sports, whether you get caught or not, you're still using them. So, how do you think that would change? Would that change the game? Would there be higher scores? Would there be more dominant pitchers, just out there? How do you think that would change the game?
If they didn't care, if they didn't test, I think there'd be. I just think it'd be more competitive. I think it'd be more fun to watch. I mean, that baseball in the late '90s, early 2000s, man, it was just fun. I mean, who didn't have fun during that '98 season with Sosa and McGuire?
Yeah,
who didn't love watching that season?
I remember watching the Royals, and they would pan off to the every at bat that Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire had for the last month of the season. Yeah.
When Bonds was hitting 73, you would pan every night. They would show all of Bonds' at bats on ESPN. That was so much fun, man. I loved baseball during the steroid era. I love baseball, period, but especially during that era, we had the greatest player of all time playing during that era with Barry Bonds. I don't understand people, who say, "Oh well, he's a cheater." So what?
Right.
So he used a human growth hormone for one to try to advance and heal better with all the injuries that they deal with on a yearly basis, because the baseball season's a grind.
Right.
162 games is an absolute grind. You have 183 days, so that means you have 20 off days in a 9-month span. So, look, we get more off days than that working 9 to 5s. So,
And I call in sick every 63 days. So
yeah, so it's one of those where you have to take it into account. Yes, I understand the money they get paid, blah 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 blah. I understand, but we can get into that conversation a whole another day, because that's if you think that they're overpaid athletes, then you're an idiot and you don't understand economics.
Yeah, and
they're just overpaid athletes and they get paid too much money. Feel free to at me so I could tell you why you're wrong.
Aren't you supposed to say don't at me? Like, isn't that
no,
what the
you
cool
can
kids
at me
say?
all you want. Hey, at me. My Twitter handle is on the screen all show long. You can at me as much as you want. But I just, those guys did things for the game that were just so much fun and so much fun to watch. So
Also on the flip side of that, you guys have to realize that the baseball era, like at that time, was just coming off of a strike. I believe it was the whole season, like they missed, right? So the baseball season almost needed the strike or the steroid era to become relevant again. So what did Jameson say?
Baseball is run by stuck-up rich white people that are old-fashioned and slow to change their sport. He's not incorrect.
Yeah, you are not incorrect at at all. So Combs, let me ask you this question before I move on to my topic here. Do you think that the steroids kept baseball around just because they were in such a dumps after that strike?
No, I think that
and that is going to be it for the Man Hour, guys. Catch us next week, Monday, youtube.com/Man Hour, right here every Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. East Coast time. Combs, any closing thoughts?
What the hell was your what if?
My what if? What if D4 did?
Man Hour Nation, rise up.